My name is Jonathan Reed. Tonight I'd like to offer you my version of show and tell. I'll show you what I saw and I'll tell you a little bit about it. And at the end we can talk about it. I'd like to, at this time, thank a couple of special people who have helped me to come here tonight and who have invited me to let you hear what's happened to me. Terry and Bob Brown have got me here safe and given me the opportunity to tell you what happened to me and let you judge for yourself. And that's all I've ever asked to do. You see it with your own eyes. You judge it for yourself. And you decide how it affects you. First, I'd like to ask you a question. How many of you in the audience have heard my story? Thank you. Those of you who haven't, I will try my best to recap some of the event in a moment. Oh, and before we start, I have one other question. How many of you are currently working or have worked for any member of our government or any other? Let's see a show of hands. Well, to some of you who aren't raising your hand, and I know of 3 of you that are here, I have one thing to say to you folks. And that is, I'm here in spite of your actions, in spite of trying to keeping me from talking about this. And I will tell my story, no matter what.
We're here to stay.
Tonight I'm here to talk about the event that happened prior to what you just saw on the video that happened some 3.5 years ago when I was with my dog, Susie, and I encountered a strange creature. The video that you've just seen was taken out of sheer desperation, exhaustion, and plain fear. At this time, and at that time, I was almost in a total state of emotional breakdown. I had been through what I now feel is the closest thing to hell possible, just short of death. I had taken my dog for a hike in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, some 60 miles east of Seattle and 15 miles northeast of Snoqualmie Pass. I had parked my car, and my dog and I walked into the woods approximately for an hour and a half. During this hour and a half, we walked by trees and streams and mountains that were very familiar. I had done this many times. Nothing unusual. But all of a sudden, my dog decided to take off running after something. Again, not an unusual thing. The woods are full of raccoons and squirrels and deer. We'd seen one earlier in the day. But this time it was different. My dog took off like a bolt of lightning and was barking, and I lost her out of sight. She ran up ahead. I don't know how far. There were hills and a lot of brush. And the barking got more fierce and more fierce, and I was sure that she was in some kind of conflict with either a bear or a cat. I wasn't sure. I threw my backpack down and I grabbed a branch just in case I could throw it or defend her off of something, and I ran to the top of the ridge. And when I was at the top of the ridge, I saw something that defied everything that I have ever seen. I saw my dog in what I thought was attacking something else. And at the time, at the first moment, I thought it was a child because it was childlike in size. My dog had this thing by the arm, and they were in some kind of mortal conflict. As I watched, moment, second to second, I watched my dog being torn in half in front of my eyes. I saw her head split in half, with her jaw torn back across her back, and her life being torn apart in front of me. I called for her to let go. But she couldn't let go because something had a hold of her. And this thing was vibrating so fast that I could barely make out the outline. But it was 2 arms and 2 legs and a head, but like nothing I had ever seen before. And all of a sudden, Susie started to fold in on herself, her body literally creasing into herself. And she fell to the ground and basically died in front of my eyes. I screamed as loud as I could for her to let go. But she was gone. And I ran forward as this thing looked at me. And I took that branch and I hit it as hard as I could. And it screamed, and so did I. In defending my dog.
I'd like to ask what you would have done. I've heard a lot of popular prattling and posturing about, well, I would have done this and I would have done that. Well, that's baloney. Be there first. Experience it firsthand. And I damn well can tell you, you will react completely differently. And anybody that's been in any real serious situation knows this to be the truth. We all like to believe that we would act in a rational, controlled manner. But when something like this incredible, this horrific occurs, you just can't. Your mind can't handle it. We're not used to this. And for Dr. Reed, he had never even dreamt to even begin to think he would see something like this. He lived a different life at a different time, like myself. And so when he saw this, how else could he have reacted?
I ask you, what would you have done? What would you have felt? Put yourself in my shoes for a minute. This happened within 20 to 30 seconds. And some say, that's a pretty short amount of time. I say it was an eternity. And I've had to replay this over and over in my mind ever since. I'd like to apologize for my language in the video, but I was sick, I was frustrated because of what I was seeing in the camera lens.